Perfect. Alrighty, we are really excited to have you today, V, and can't wait to have a conversation with you about how you got your start as a content creator. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about your journey to this decision to get into this career and how you kind of got started with it all?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you that that I can join this. The first thing that I started with all the adult platforms was multiple financial things, but then I got it wasn't a really amazing thing. People were very respectful, so I was like, oh, this is something, this is my niche, this is something I really like. So it's in the beginning, it was more like photo shoots and behind the scenes. And then afterwards, more like erotic and more amateur content.
Cool. So then, would you describe your content that you make as mostly amateur, or would you categorize yourself in a different niche?
I don't have a spectacular niche. I'm more like the MILF, I guess, but also like a little bit pornographic kind of woman, but also dominant. I have like multiple niches, but they all fit from who I am. So
Cool, cool. So then, yeah, I guess, are you kind of existing on multiple different platforms right now? And like, would you say that you have different fan bases that are drawn to the different aspects of your persona, your online persona?
yes, I have multiple platforms. I have like OnlyFans, Fancentro, of course, and for now I have also Playboy. Playboy starts with centerfolds. I was accepted, the only one from Belgium at the moment. So I have multiple platforms with multiple subscribers, but the content is like on each platform a little bit the same. On Playboy, it's more like the online girlfriend niche. So that is a particular niche on Playboy. OnlyFans and Fancentro, it's what my subscribers want, what they like, what they love to look at, how they want to talk with me. So
A bit more personal, yeah.
yeah, very personal. And that is something I admire, the personal connection you have, because you can make platforms everywhere. You can just subscribe, but it's like the personal connection you have between the content creator and the fan that is the most important thing of your marketing, of your grow. Because if you don't have that personal connection, if they don't really like know you, they will not stay on your platform. So that is very important.
Yeah, I think that's a huge key point to gaining loyalty with fans. But is that something that you expected getting into it, that you would have such connection to people, or did you think it?
In the beginning, I looked what OnlyFans was, and then Fancentro came because the media was like no erotic content anymore, and then was Fancentro there. In the beginning, it was like okay, there's a platform behind the paywall. I can put everything that doesn't allow on Instagram. I can put it online. So let me check that out. And then I saw indeed the communication between the fans, the good morning, the good night stuff, but also you really, Ali, my fans talk to me like you're really helping me. You listen to me, you wish me good morning. I'm alone at the moment, so I really love how you do this. So that is really important because if you don't have that special connection, it's more like sell content online. It's not really a platform and a personal space.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this really cool TED talk that goes into depth about the role that adult creators have in their communities and how, I mean, there's lots of unsuspected people in your life that kind of come along and provide a lot of care and um, not obviously like therapy is a whole different, like it's in its own realm, but there's so many people that receive so much from adult creators. And yeah, that TED Talk is one thing that I feel like everyone needs to watch, because I think that that's a huge aspect of the career that isn't talked about as much unless you talk to an actual creator.
People think a lot like if you have an adult platform or just a platform behind a paywall, it's like pushing content online, pushing videos online, and they don't expand in the talking. But the talking is more like, if you put it in like percentages, I don't know how you say in English, but if you are looking from the advertising side, it's like, I think 80% of your advertising, it's like the connection with your fans, the talking with your fans, and not to make the content. So right. that is something I learned between through the years, that if you have that special connection with your fans, they will stay and they will be loyal. And that is something really important. Your fans have to be loyal, because I also have bad days, but I tell to my fans, okay, today I'm not feeling quite well, and they have really respect, because I'm not that content creator that just say, okay, now I have to sell, I have to earn money, because if you do it only for to earn money, you will not complete the whole process.
Right. Yeah. It's really interesting, because a big part of what informed the questions that I've prepared to ask you today had a lot to do with kind of like the surface level of what people want to know when they get into the business, which is more so about like equipment and setup and all these things. And of course, these are important to know, because they help you to have your tool belt so that you're able to feel professional and know that your content's going to be well received. But it's so interesting, because the loyalty and like getting into that perfect mix of having a good relationship with your fans, showing up for them, but also having boundaries with them, that's a hard thing to learn. Do you have any tips for someone who maybe now they've been in the industry for a little bit and they are struggling with knowing like how to associate themselves in these relationships with people who, you know, it's an interesting dynamic, because to a certain extent you're very close because you're communicating all the time, but you've never met in person. So what advice do you have for someone who's kind of struggling with not knowing how to engage with that?
The advice I would give is like, get to know your fans, get to know what they want, talk with them, not immediately try to sell your content, but just get to know them as if you wanted to talk to a friend. And also ask them personal questions, because and my fans, they love when I ask personal questions, how the day was, what they did today, because then you have like a real conversation, like everyone does in friendship. I see my fans more like my neighbors or my friends, where I just talk to, ask them questions, because I really want to know how the day was. But also maybe an advice, if you don't know how to engage, you can look everything online. You can do like multiple workshops. For example, Fancentro, there is a whole platform with a lot of information, but more just dig deep into your account and find your niche. I think that is the most important thing I've learned, is find your niche, or find something that fits to you and that you can create and be creative online.
Yeah, it's really cool. It sounds like, you know, when you're moving to a new city and no one really knows who you are, and you have the chance to kind of invent who you are as a content creator when you're building out your platform. and deciding on your niche, you can really go in any direction and ask yourself, like, what feels most authentic to you and what makes you excited to do what you're doing. Do you feel like finding a niche was something difficult for you, or do you think it kind of just came naturally?
No, for me, finding a niche was very difficult because, for example, at first I'm a mom, so I was thinking, okay, mom niche, but that doesn't fit me. Then it was okay, I may be a girl next door type with a lot of tattoos, but a particular niche is so difficult because there have multiple things in it. It must be you. You have to set your boundaries, and that is very important. If you choose a niche that doesn't fit to you, you will never succeed in it. But for me to find a niche, I think now I have like multiple niches. But the most of all is like more the cheeky online girlfriend, the one who says good morning to you, but also like a little bit erotic porn star. So it's the multiple ways in one person.
Cool. Yeah, it's interesting to think about because obviously on all the different platforms and then on some of the promotional sites, we just talked about a release that we had with a partnership with Red Gifts, and the whole like tagging your content and putting it in the bracket of a niche is so important because when new people are coming to the site and they haven't explored and found you yet, they're putting in like the most basic words, kind of just like exploring something, and everyone has their own associations to those keywords and tags. So yeah, I mean, it's hard because when you have all the freedom in the world, but then you know that you're kind of a layered and complex person, yeah, I can imagine that it can be a little bit tricky. Have you had any transitions in your career where you sort of phased out of one niche and moved into another?
At the beginning, I was more like I didn't have a niche. I was looking for it for multiple months. I saw everyone online. A good friend of mine, she has like the niche, the school teacher, because she is really a school teacher. So that is a particular niche. For me, it was more like, okay, what are my things that I like to pronounce or that I like to talk about, and then I was more like, okay, the online girlfriend, that fits because you have a personal connection with your fans, so I really like that. That was also one of the most important things that I started with the adult platforming. But then also like the tattoos, the alternative looks that are a little bit my niches. But I think it's just important that you just find something that really fits you and that you can be creative, but also in 2-3 years later that you still can expand. Know that you still can expand the niche, but that you set your boundaries, and that it's so important. And the boundaries is, I cannot say it enough, but to set your boundaries, I also give like advice to people who say, okay, how can I set my boundaries? It's like write a note paper that says, okay, this is today my boundaries, and if you think now I'm close to the boundary to overwhelm them, just look at it, look it again at a note and say, oh, okay, but that I didn't gonna do. I talked to myself, okay, that is something I will never do. And then you can a little bit, because in adults, also in the adult sector, adult entertainment, everything what allows adults, it's really hard to have boundaries, because at the moment you're like, okay, I'm earning, and you don't think about the consequences anymore, or not enough. And it is something really, I cannot tell it often enough, that it's really important to stick to yourself and to see if you do like multiple content or something particular, that you see, okay, is it something that I don't regret, like between a couple of years?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Kind of like, well, everyone has a different approach to like how they decide to go about picking their like tattoos. Cause yeah, I also have a ton of tattoos, and some people will say like, give yourself a time frame of like, once you have the idea of what you want to get, and then set the date in the calendar, and then see if by that date it's still something that you're interested in, just to kind of let it soak in and decide. Yeah, it's very important. And then talking about boundaries too, because, you know, there's been a lot of conversations about how to, because some people really want to preserve their anonymity. There's a lot of things with stage names and obviously like personal life. And when you're, you know, very close with your fans, but you want to keep these boundaries. I have another content creator that I've spoken with before, who I know as well has kids and has a family. How much, or how do you go about deciding like what the boundaries are with like how much your fans know about your everyday life? Do you feel like there's a big separation between the two?
Not much, because they know I'm a mom. They know I have like a teenage daughter. They know that I do like adult content creating. But I think if you like, you can have like a double life, if you say it like that. You can be like a girlfriend online who's single and who doesn't have it, and in real life you are a married woman with three kids, for example. But I think like in times it's hard to separate those two lives, because you have to each time you have to switch. You have to, okay, now I'm the single mom, or now I'm the single person, and then if my computer is shut off or I don't talk to my fans, I'm like the married woman. But I know people who does it like that. But me, yeah, my fans know who I am, how old I am, what my name is, and yeah, that I have a kid. I don't know why I must tell them differently, because then I'm not honest anymore, and I like honesty a lot. So yeah, I think it's better. But I understand if you are married, have kids, and you don't want to have it together as one, that you separate it.
Yeah. If you would like to share, I think it could be something beneficial to talk about, maybe, because I think it's an incredible thing to be able to live a life that is very much like continuous and consistent within who you are. And I think that while a lot of people can have a lot of fun with role play or like separating parts of their lives, it can get to be exhausting. But I do know that there are also a lot of people living today who come from communities or families that maybe don't have the same like modern and accepting beliefs as they do. And if you could give any advice to someone about how to find confidence in kind of letting the authenticity of your life carry through and not separating things anymore, how to have conversations with people in your life who are new to the type of work you do, what would you say?
First of all, self-love. That is something I really learned. I had multiple complexes of my body before I start with my adult entertainment. And my fans convinced me that the parts of my body were beautiful. I didn't have the complexes of it. But also stick to who you are, and don't let anyone talk about your norms and values and stuff, because when you do like adult entertainment, suddenly you don't have norms and values anymore. It's like everything disappears for the out people. But the most beautiful part of it all, I think it's like, see who you are, stick to the person who you are, but also be creative and experimental, and just see what you can do with that adult thing. And also, if you want to separate it, you can. But it's like you say, it's really exhausting to have a double life. I could never have a double life. I see it with a friend of mine. She has it, and I'm like, whoa, I can't space in between. I really can't. But I've full respect for people who can. But I think, like, if you really do this as like a living, and if it is your only job, I think it must be difficult to not separate it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to acknowledge that everyone kind of gets there in their own time. But yeah, I guess the hope is that as things progress and as we move into more openness as a society, hopefully it's going to be something where across the board, not just in conversation, but just in like legality and everything, that the work becomes like safer and more supported, and that there's more resources, and it's not something where there's any marginalization.
Yeah, there is a big difference between, I went to LA, and the big difference to Belgium, maybe also Netherlands, I don't know, is that the adult work is legalized here now, since I think last year, 2022, I think it's right. But if you see, like in LA, it's like they are open with it. They don't have no problems. They also have the LGBTQ plus community. They are very lovable. They have full of respect. There is like nude content is not here. It's still like how I'd say, like norms and values and stuff. And there is like you can do the fuck what you want. If you just do you, if you're happy, then we allow it. And here it's more like, okay, no, you're a mom, you can't do it. It's like your norms and values. What about your kids if they see your content, and etc. etc. So if I can talk to the politics here in Belgium, we have still a lot to do.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's cool to hear. I mean, of course, knowing that there's a long way to go can be kind of disheartening, but I feel like I've been seeing, especially because we really care about the like Belgium and Netherlands creators that have come to the platform and want to make them feel really supported. And I feel like I've been seeing so many creators, and I feel like it's kind of booming right now, which is exciting to hear, especially knowing that it's not an easy thing in the place that you live.
No, and also adult advertising, adult content creating. It's not like I just put some pictures and videos online and I can make a lot of money. It's not that. I think I know media pronounce it like that. That it's a very easy job. Just put it, try out an outfit, just take some pictures, put it online, and you have multiple fans who buy it. But in the beginning, it will work because you're new and nobody did see you in that niche or that as a person. But then everyone at a point in your adults page, everyone saws it. Or like now, there are a lot of groups online that shares your content, your exclusive content, just for free. And it is also a really important thing that I learned is you can't do anything about it. You can go to the cops, you can delete it, but your content will be that is something you really have to think about and be in your mind, that the possibility that your content will be leaked is there. So if you then say, oh no, I have like separated content created live, then you have to be in mind like, okay, but what if my content gets leaked online? So for me, it's like I saw it as advertising. So okay, yeah, it can be online. I will not put my prices lower, definitely not. But yeah, people will be interesting. Will be so, oh, who is she? And then maybe subscribe, maybe not. But yeah. That's something.
That's interesting. A good way to make light, or not make light, but to take something positive, I guess, out of a shitty situation.
Yeah.
But when you do that, does that include like watermarking your content or this type of tactic? Because if the content gets leaked, do you always know that your name will be associated to that and they'll be able to find you later?
Yeah, of course. So I put a watermark on it, but there are multiple internet groups that have like, but I think it's more like OnlyFans creators online. It's really sad that people doesn't see it. Like they think, oh yeah, if you put yourself online on the internet like that, you deserve to be leaked like that. So it's really hard. But if you see it in a positive way, like you say, people don't have the love about it anymore. They think, oh, she doesn't mind that I put her content online like that. So yeah, what is the fun about it now? So you have to put everything in like a positive way. I know it's really hard and it's easy to talk about. But if you see it like that and you don't see it like, oh my God, no, my content is leaked, people will not do it often, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and what you just touched on is really important too to talk about, because there's this huge injustice with the way that people relate to content getting leaked. Because there's this podcaster that I listen to she's a model in LA, Emily Ratajkowski. She just came out with this book talking about like the commodification of her body and how most of her life, like she has a lot of conversations about adult content platforms on her podcast, because she talks about how it's like there's so many people who are constantly having their body commodified against their wishes, and they're the last ones to get any of the financial cut, or they get the least amount of money. And then when there's photos that get leaked, and people think that just because you put something out there, that means it's out there and it shouldn't be, you shouldn't have the freedom to say what happens to it after that, which is so ridiculous. And I mean,
it's also like people really sell like content of other girls. They really earn money on it. And I have like I think last week a website, someone sent it to me, and it was like something permitted through Fancentro, but also the same content as on my OnlyFans and Fancentro, and they're earning on my content. So you really have to, if you see that online as a creator, you just have to go to your lawyer. I just contact my lawyer, and he's like, okay, that is your I don't know how to say it in English. In Belgium, it's like portretrecht. It's like you put something online, but that doesn't know that another person can take it off. Copyrights, right? Mm-hmm. Can take it off and then sell it like just to earn money on your head or on your body or something. But it is something really important to know about, and to the consequences of putting yourself online.
Yeah, with
also
anything.
It's not allowed, but people do it like often.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is definitely something to get honest with yourself about when you're getting into the work.
Yeah, but I really, for the positive way, if you want to do like adult entertainment, just do you. You will find your niche. You will find the fun part of it. Also, you can work wherever you want. Like me, for example, I have my daughter. She goes to school here, but I can also say my friends who are adult content creators, if they say, okay, tomorrow I fly to LA or to Dubai, I'm off, and they can create the content there. So you don't have to be on the same place, and that's also an advice. Set locations, go to other locations, but keep it like amateur, because most of the fans don't, love to have like the amateur content and not only the photo shoots, the professional things, because it's more like their imagination. It's more like real than on a behind the scenes shot.
Okay, that's a good tip. Yeah, I was just talking with one of the success coaches at Fancentro, and she was talking about how she was testing out live streaming for cross promotion, and she went to the gym and had her iPhone just kind of like filming her on the bike with her legs, kind of like doing a spotlight on her legs and how good they looked, and then using that as promotion. But she was like, but fans just love that, like this very everyday average moment.
Yeah, you don't have to be like, I think that's a lot of content creators today think, okay, I have to be do like erotic content, I have to be naked. No, you don't. You really don't have to. You just have to find something that fits to you, and you just, if you put everything on the cake, then it sells like it sells really easy, but like in a couple of months the cake is already sold. So if you do it in like steps, and you create the illusion and imagination, and you keep that imagination, it's more fun for your fan to discover than just to put everything online immediately.
Yeah, there's a lot of like psychology behind that. With, I mean, when we talk about marketing, for sure, but then even just talking about like the desire that people have to explore curiosity and kind of have things like unravel, and to get to be a part of something rather than just having something be kind of like placed right there for you with like nothing to get there.
Yeah, and also the thing that I experienced is like, don't put your prices too low, because if you like, the difference between like Fancentro and OnlyFans, people on Fancentro are more, they're not going to give like more dollars to a movie, and on OnlyFans it's more exclusive with mine. Now it's a little bit turning, but on Fancentro it's more like, I think if you put like a video and you set $15, that is a normal price. So you also have to know on which platform you are, because I think that multiple fans already know, okay, but with that adult creator, I can buy a video of $5, but with her, I can buy a video of $20. So, but don't hesitate to see yourself as an exclusive content creator, because if you have like the pressure, because now these days a lot of content creators put videos online for like $3-5. I will never do that, just because I think my niche is something exclusive, and if I do it, it's like when I want it, but it's not the full line. It's like, okay, today or this night I have like a little time, so I'm going to talk to my fans, and the one who responds gets like a video for $5. So you really have to be creative, and also, look at other content creators, do shout outs, advertise on Instagram, and most of all TikTok. TikTok is a really high viral platform, that will get you with the most funniest videos, you will have the connection to your adult pages.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you want, like now that you brought up TikTok, we have to get into it really quick. Because it's one of those things where I mean, in general, even as a regular person showing up, going on TikTok, you can look up one page that teaches you about how to market your content on TikTok. It'll teach you about hashtags and trending sounds. And then even if you are just someone who's like off the ground going, you use like the 5 hashtags that are relevant, that are suggested, and a trending sound, you can get like a random 1,000 people on your video within an hour, which is a huge superpower for marketing. But then at the same time, there's that accessibility, but then there of course are all these other hoops to jump through with the terms of service constantly changing. Like TikTok just recently said that creators can't have any content relating to fetish at all. Fetish, kink, latex, like that's gonna be banned from TikTok. So I mean, have you had any issues with your account?
Oh yeah, ooh, multiple.
Yeah. And how do you
had a lot of issues. I do sometimes on TikTok a live session, so a live Q&A like this, for example. And if I talk too much about sexuality, or if I show my Fancentro online, I will get blocked in my own life immediately.
Yeah,
it's something. I think they think you sell your stuff online. For example, you just want to talk about it, so you're not allowed to put some words, because if I say like porn, I say corn movies or something. I pronounce it differently, something I really learned. But yeah, I have a lot of issues. If I have too much boobs, they delete me. But then, like the other parts, sometimes I see people online on TikTok, and I'm like, where are your clothes, and you get not banned? So I don't know what exactly it is, but but TikTok is a good way to advertise if you do it on the correct way, with the hashtags, with the viral videos. And don't let yourself down if one video is not going viral. You have to put like maybe 5-6 videos in a day to really go viral.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think you like, even if you go on top creators pages and you see everyone has kind of like numbers all over the place, like maybe they have their pinned videos and it's like millions of views, but then you scroll down a little bit and it's like a few hundred, a few thousand. Like it happens to everyone.
You don't have to be you don't have to get your eyes on the viral stuff, like the statistics. Also, if you see on your statistics for earnings, don't have your eyes on the price. Just have fun, create, and the most important thing is have fun and do what you love. Don't think I need to earn that money. Because if you're going to think like, I need to earn it because I need to pay my rents and I need to pay the bills, that is something, you're not having fun anymore. And at some point, your fans will know it, because then you're going to too hard in mass message. You're going to put a lot of videos, but it's not the same as before. And the boundaries, you will maybe set some boundaries that you never set before. Or no boundaries.
Yeah.
Be you, do you, and just create your content in whatever way, just the way you like it.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of people that you hear, because of course there's a ton of work and time that goes into it, but there's a lot of times you hear that like people get into content creation thinking that it'll be this space where they're able to do what they love and just be themselves and share their life with the world. But then sometimes I think people get kind of lost in all of the pressure and trends and all of these things and numbers and money. And then the job becomes this really weird space of just, I don't know, I feel like people end up dreading it. and they forget that the reason that they got into it in the first place is because it gives so much freedom.
Yeah.
Sometimes we trap ourselves in this like space of pressure that we don't need to. And
no, but it's something you really have to talk about to your fans. You have to tell them that you're not the person who will be online 24/7 for them. You have to. That's also something. If you tell them, like, I also have, like, I'm a mom for me as example, or I work in a magazine, or I do photo shoots, that they really know, okay, this person is not like 24/7 online. And they really have to know it, because if you don't talk about it and you don't set the boundaries for the fans, they will expect that you, if they put a message, or if they buy a personal video that you have to make, that it's like in 24 hours. So you really have to be consequent, and also be I forget also always that word in English. So like direct. I don't. English is so
like assertive.
Yeah, you have to be that. Because it's really important that fans know, if they buy something from you, it's not immediately. They have to wait, because they're not the only one.
Yeah. That's an interesting paradox of making a fan feel special and important, but also setting the boundary of being like, you're not the only person in my life who deserves attention or is going to get attention.
That's because you have to give them a special feeling and like something extra, but they also have to know, and that's the most logical part of it, they're not the only fan, or they're not the only subscriber on your page, but each and every fan must have something special to you, or must have something unique, I think, and that is why I'm not a big fan of always pushing mass messages, because fans do quite know that you're mass messaging. It's as if I put like a mass message online before I go to sleep or something. I had multiple times, is it for me only, or is it for the whole fan club?
No.
And I'm honest to them. I don't say, no, it's for you only. I say, yes, this is for each and every fan of mine here on the platform. But now I'm talking to you, that is personally. And that's something
smart.
I separate. Yeah.
Very smart. That's really cool.
Because they're not stupid. They really know, okay, it's she doesn't know me. I'm maybe special here online because I sell her, I buy her videos that she sells. But if you really talk to them, or also have like notes, for example, a fan went to the hospital, he told you, I went to the hospital, and a week later you asked him, how was it in the hospital? And if you do that, the personal stuff, they fall in love. They fall in love because they know, okay, she doesn't only talk to me for the money. And that's something for me really important. I'm not doing everything for money, not at all.
Yeah, you guys aren't there to exploit each other. Then, I mean, I guess it could be the same as keeping track of any of the friends in your life. But when it comes to remembering specific details about fans, of course, like, well, yeah, I guess, how do you do it? How do you just like try to, is it just a result of being intentional and the relationship building, and you just remember things?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that every fan I know like personal stuff from, but you have like loyal fans who are more than a year with you, and I see them not like a subscriber, I see them more like a friend. And if I ask, how is your day? And they tell me, oh, at the moment I'm sick, or I don't feel well. Like a couple of days later, I still remember that they didn't feel well. So, but sometimes if you really advertising your creators, your subscribers, sorry, if you do, just put sticky notes. Just put like that I talked to that fan and he went to the hospital, or his mom was sick, or he got a child, or something like that. Just put like little notes, and if you then go to the fan again, you see like, oh yeah, that was something really important he talked to me about.
Yeah, that's really good. That's an incredible skill. And I think that could be like one of the most important things in order to like to grow and to keep that loyal fan base.
Yeah,
everything done with care is done well.
Yes.
Okay,
see your subscriber as your loyal friend who you get to know, get to talk about, and more the personal stuff. That's something I really like, the personal things. Not only the making money and sell content online stuff, but also the open up like a fan who really loves your content because it's you.
Yeah.
Because on Pornhub you see everything online. So if you just type like sexual content online, you see multiple websites, but the difference is when they subscribe to you, and that is something as a creator you really have to own it. They subscribe because they want to talk to you or they want to see you.
Yeah, it's a lot of attention. Yeah. I guess because we're running out of time, I wanted to, we've been talking for so long. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I guess to kind of wrap things up, there is like I mentioned in the beginning, a lesser important topic, but something we wanted to talk about just because, especially like with your exciting affiliation with Playboy, we have this blog post that we did a little while ago that has been helpful to a lot of people, but I think it could be fun to ask you because the title of it is kind of cheeky, and it's talking about like the art of taking nudes. So like, of course, getting in front of the camera, and whether it's a nude or whether it's something just sexy in lingerie or whatever, there's definitely an art to finding your angles or like just knowing how to feel good. Yeah. Ooh. Sorry, I got a little interruption. There's an art to it, even though a lot of people might think it's just getting up there and doing it. But do you have any tips for like how you get into a space where before you even go into it, you're feeling confident, and then like kind of how you found your style even within photographing yourself or being photographed?
First of all, show your pictures to a couple of friends you know are open-minded to see what they really think about, because they still have another vision of it, but also embrace your body. See it as like a piece of, is it embrace? Yeah. See it like a piece of art. Like I also see like a naked body. For me, naked woman, it's not like a naked, it's like more the silhouettes. I really like you can put like highlights in it. You can really tease which is the silhouette or something. So with Playboy also, it's not just nude, but it's like artistic nude. It's like on the creative art way, because I went to the head office of Playboy in LA, and the first thing I saw when I came into the head office was like there were multiple pieces of art, and that is also things they create in like the virtual and online magazines. They do not just take a picture of like naked boobs and a naked woman, but they create something like art with like Pamela Anderson, for example, she has like the red lips, the blonde hair, but it's a niche and it's like an art style. So, and be confident. If you know your worth, if you know that you can be sexy, you will see it shining on pictures. You will just see it. If you're like timide, if you're scared, you will also see it. So just what I do, it's like before a photo shoot or something, and it's like, okay, this is something I really want to do. I'm full of confidence. This is also my silhouette. This is my good look. I can do different styles and put on some music. Put the music on you like, and you get losing the attention, and also create in your mind something like imagination, what you think if you were a man or a woman, that you would love to see about another creator.
Ooh, that's a really good tip.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Amazing.
just put your mind in the other way. So like if you have like a conversation with someone and you have empathy, put the imagination that you think your creator wants, your subscriber wants to see, and then create it.
That's so good. That's a really good way to be creative. And then I think too, you get into that zone if you think about your own, like what you would actually want to see in someone else or what you think is attractive.
Yeah, and,
So
and
cool.
if you show that, not everyone will like it. Not everyone will say, "Oh yeah, this is something I like," but for every market there's a niche.
Exactly.
If you like plus size, there's a niche. If you like a mom, there's a niche. If you like fetish and BDSM and stuff, that is also a niche. If you like latex, that is also a niche. So for every market, there is a niche. So just be creative, be you, and the most important thing that I can say to all the creators, just be confident. Have confidence, have like the self-love, and also the feminism, but on a good way. So like know what you're worth and shine, just shine.
Such a good word to hear. Damn. It's so great to hear everything. I can tell that you're really are someone who gives yourself so much love, and I think that the things that you had to share are going to make people feel really good about themselves and really confident. And I mean, just being able to see someone who has such an expansive and like truthful life and fun and creative and sexy life, like that's the best thing to see. And I feel really inspired by this conversation, and I'm so excited that we could have you on to share your story. I've been really looking forward to it, and I'd love to have you share before we end the call kind of where people can find you online.
Okay. So you can find me, of course, on Fancentro. It's like www.fancentro.com/Veerle, just my name. Also on Playboy, also just www.playboy.com/Veerle, and also on OnlyFans, www.onlyfans.com/Veerle Peeters. So that is the multiple, and also Instagram, Vidici. I'm a person. If you send me a message and I have the time to write back, I definitely will. I will give you tips, tricks, everything that if I just can put one person, the self-love and the confidence that I've learned, because a couple of years ago I wasn't so confident as today, but just embrace yourself, see yourself as a beautiful, unique woman or man, and just create and do you. If you like to do adult content, just do it, and don't think what would people think about, because I did it like a lot, multiple years, and everyone has an opinion. So if you do this today, they will have an opinion about it. If you do that later the month, they have an opinion. So just if you like to do it, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's so true. People have opinions about literally everything. That's what people love to do. They love to think about other people's lives, but
and definitely virtual after a PC. It's so easy to I call it to bash about something, but if you see them in real life, they will not talk to you. They are scared because you're so strong and supportive in each way. So yeah, think of like, I don't care, go on with it, and I'm creating the life I want.
Exactly. Beautiful. I think that's a really great place to end.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.